Okay, guys. I have tried. This will be the third time I have made this video, and I am about to just pull my hair out. But anyway, yesterday on my coyote dirtle video, I had mentioned when I was covering them with the peat moss, when I was moving my hand all around the pan of the trap and all that good stuff. I had said that a lot of people probably think we're cringing or we're freaking out because I have my hands, just all over the pan and inside the jaws, whatever. What I meant by that was if anybody's freaked out or they get nervous to get anywhere near their pan, your traps ain't adjusted right. I mean, they're just not. Pan tension is a gray area for a lot of people. What I mean by that, some people think you don't need any pan tension. Some people think you need just a little bit. Some people like to hair trigger their traps. Some people set them up to where if a mouse breathes on it, it'll fire. This might make a lot of people mad, but if you are doing any kind of predator trapping, that is further from the truth. It is nothing could be further from the truth. You want pan tension on your traps. I don't care if you're beaver trapping, especially beaver trapping with a foothold. I mean, ideally, I would think that 4 pounds is probably, I wouldn't say it's perfect, but it's probably ideal, especially for situations where you're setting up like maybe a caster mound and he's going to step up on the trap. For coyotes and bobcats, I like to set them pretty much right at 3 pounds. You can go a little lighter, but 2 pounds to me is the bare minimum. It don't matter if you're trapping coyotes, bobcats, fox, whatever. 2 pounds is minimum. Now, 3 to me is perfect. And one thing that I didn't mention on my video I just made about the big pans, if you're going to run an expanded pan like that, you're going to want a little more pan tension, because when you go to cover it with dirt, it's holding more dirt up. And when it rains, trapping, you need to be thinking about what weather's coming up anyway. So if it's going to rain hard for the next, in 2 days or tomorrow or whatever, however much dirt you have over that pan is going to be wet, and you're going to have even more pan tension. But I could go on for, good God, probably 45 minutes on pan tension, why you need it, why it's important, when you don't need it. The only time you really don't need pan tension is if you're, say, mink or muskrat trapping. I mean, but other than that, this is the whole reason for the video. You can buy one of those trap pan testers, and they're a good piece of equipment to have. I think they're like 12 or 13 bucks, but to me, over time, springs weaken, and if you're going to use that thing a lot, especially if you have a lot of traps, over time that spring's going to get weak, and to me, you're going to have a variation from one trap to the next on how much pan tension you're running because of the spring strength. It's going to weaken over time. But now, that being said, a lot of people are going to argue with that. I've argued with people forever about springs and when they weaken, especially with gun springs and magazine springs. what weakens springs is not having them compressed for long periods of time, like a loaded magazine. You could keep one loaded for 100 years if you wanted to, and it'd be fine. What weakens the spring is the cycle. Well, now what's a cycle? A cycle of this one cycle of a spring is it compressing to capacity, which means as far as it'll compress, and then decompressing. That's one full spring cycle. Now, if you keep a magazine loaded for, however long, forever, it's going to be fine. What weakens it is when you load it, put it in the gun, and then you shoot it. So, I could argue for an hour on that, and I know people are probably going to be fussing in the comments, but that's just the way it is. I mean, a lot of people, that's a myth, wherever that come from, about springs weakening because having magazines loaded forever. That's a bunch of bullcrap, okay? Guns are what I do. That's, my breadwinner. That's what I do. I fix them, I build them, I work on them, I modify them, I make parts, all that good stuff that comes with being, a really good gunsmith. That's what I do. Trapping is just more like deer hunting. Well, it's not like deer hunting. I mean, I like to trap more than I like to do anything else. But I'm not an expert. But what I will tell you is, a lot of the things that I'm posting on YouTube are things that you can take out, use, and be successful with. It's not all hype or bullcrap. It's what I have used to help me be successful. And this right here is one of them, especially when I first started out. What this is two 16-ounce water bottles that are taped together. Now, you might ask, well, what in the hell are you going to use this for? Well, you're going to use this the same way you would that trap pan tester. These two bottles with 16 ounces of water in each one of them is 32 ounces. That's 2 pounds. I know that because I put this on a scale and weighed it. Now, what you can do with this is, you remember me saying about the 2 pounds being the minimum you should have? Well, this will give you that, and it's going to give you an exact amount. Okay? Now, ideally, if you could find 18-ounce bottles, or, let's say, actually, if you could find those 24-ounce pop bottles, those would work even better, because then you would have 3 pounds worth of water, essentially, once you got them both full. But what you're going to do with this, you're going to set it on the trap pan. You're going to ease it down, and you want your trap to hold this up without firing. Okay? Now, to me, 3 pounds is ideal. And what I like to do is set my traps to where they will hold this up on their own without firing, and then when I take a 3-pound hammer and ease it down on there, it'll hold the weight of the hammer up for maybe 2 or 3 seconds, and then it fires. That's perfect. That's exactly how you want your pan tension to be, in my opinion. But if you talk to anybody who's caught any big numbers of coyotes or bobcats, whatever it is, they will tell you you have to have proper pan tension. If you get anything from this video, 2 pounds on land, if you're land trapping, is the bare minimum I would run if you want to have a no headache trap line. What I mean by that is, without pan tension, you're going to have toe catches all the time. You're going to lose stuff because it's toe caught. You're not going to have none of them bullcrap problems if you use proper pan tension. And if you're having those problems, it's probably because, I would say 90% is your pan tension. You don't have enough. Now, if you have pan tension and you're still having these problems, then you might have too weak of a trap. Okay. But just wanted to upload this. I'd uploaded one earlier, but apparently I got some feedback from another YouTuber that I watch all the time. He's a trapper, Pennsylvania. He had said that it wasn't working, so hopefully this one will work, because this is the third time that I've uploaded this video. It has been a nightmare trying to do this. But anyways, if any of you guys want me to do a more in-depth video on paying attention, why it's important, you know, what happens when the animal steps on your trap, how it should work, them shifting their weight and being committed to the set, all that stuff. If you want me to do another video with more of that in mind, just let me know. But just wanted to show you guys this because it's an easy way to make a pay attention tester, and you can do it with stuff you probably already have in like 10 minutes. So hope you guys like this, guys.